Hello and welcome to the Whispers of Rundal, a Mabinogi podcast where we talk about all things Mabinogi. I'm Shazes from the Now server, and last episode was a bit of a meme episode, but this one is a bit more serious. Today we are talking about the upcoming Reforge changes that will release on the 4th of November. This one's pretty big since it includes things such as a pity system and in-game farmable reforges, so stay with me until after the intro. Yeah, and I welcome you again. So Nexon announced this new type of Reforge, and as already mentioned, they are scheduled to launch on the 4th of November, and at the same time the Fine Reforging tool, alongside with the Credney's Reforging tool, will be discontinued. Existing Reforges will stay untouched and can still be used after this update. However, they won't get any of the new benefits or changes. Now, you may ask yourself what the actual changes are and how much these will actually cost, but I will get into that soon. However, please note that this is overseas information, so things such as pricing and in-game cost can vary once it arrives in NA. The goal of this update is to make the whole process feel more intuitive while also providing new options for the free-to-play population. To achieve this, there are 3 new types of reforges. Note that the names of these come from Meshen translations, so they will be different when they actually go live. First, we got the sophisticated reforging tool. This is the paid version, and it combines the effects of the Fine Reforging tool and the Credney's Reforging tool. So it can be used to increase the number of reforge lines while also ranking up the reforge. This also includes the aforementioned pity system, which I will explain later. Then we get the Precise Reforging tool, which can be earned using in-game methods. These cannot increase the amount of lines and have slightly worse rates than the paid reforges. And at last there's the Simple Reforging tool, and this one isn't all that important honestly, since it basically replaces the NPC Reforging tool and is only being added due to how different the new reforging system works internally. And you can see the differences between the free and paid reforges right here. Yeah. As you can see, the free version cannot increase the amount of lines and has no minimum reforge level for higher ranks. It also cannot gain limit break reforges. Limit break reforges are levels that go past the normal cap. So, let's say the Smash reforge on a two-handed sword goes up to level 20. A limit break reforge can elevate that up to 25. They have a chance of 0.1% to appear, and most skill-based reforges have this option now, like Windmill or Final Hit or I don't know, Final Shot, maybe? Yeah. While these are very rare, they can allow things that were not possible before, such as Lance Charge with 0.5 seconds cooldown, if you have the Lance Charge cooldown 7 reforge and the cooldown reduction ability from the Spirit Weapon. Now before I get too far into things such as raids, let me explain how these new reforges actually work. So this is the in-game UI when you use one of the new reforging tools. The exact wording on each of these things will be different, but this is how it will look in the end. On the top left, you see the type of reforging tool you are currently using. Below that, your item is shown along with how many reforges of that type you still have left. In the middle, you see the reforge options that you have rolled, and it shows you the previous and the new reforge effects. This only serves to provide you information. You cannot choose between these two. If you take a closer look, you will notice that the reforges now show you the maximum level that the reforge can reach. High level ones will be highlighted so you won't accidentally reroll them. Note that these maximum levels do not include limit breaks, which can go higher than the shown cap. On the right, you will see your item's current rank and number of lines. On the top right corner, you can see a button that will show you a list with all the reforges you can obtain on this specific item. It also includes the rates to get them, if it gets implemented the same way as it was in Korea. Now that we know how these new reforges work and how it looks in-game, let's talk about the pity system. This again only applies to the paid sophisticated reforging tool, and when using one of them you will get an item called Essence of Hope. These can be exchanged for 3 different items. First, the Javel of Hope, which costs 50 essences and will put your item straight to rank 1. Then there's the Blooming Javel of Hope, and it costs 7 essences. It will increase your amount of lines to about 3. Last but not least, you can exchange 15 essences for an untradeable version of the sophisticated reforging tool. This untradeable version, however, won't grant you the pity currency. Both of the aforementioned Javels can be traded once, so watch out for those on the auction house. Okay, before we talk about rates, I want to give you an idea how much these sophisticated reforges could potentially cost. In Korea, a single fine reforging tool costed about 1200 NX, while a single Kretnis went for 3600 NX, which somewhat lines up with our own pricing. The sophisticated reforging tool currently goes for 1400 NX, so it's a slightly more pricey. I should probably note that a pack of 10 fine reforges was about 10,000 NX, while 10 of the new ones are 14,000 NX. So, in conclusion, the new reforging tools will be slightly more expensive than the fine reforges, but will still be cheaper than the Kretnis. Now that we got that out of the way, we can talk about rates. Let's start with the rank up rates. Yeah, as you can see, the chance to rank up an item with the new reforges is the same as the fine reforging tool, while it is lower than the Kretnis reforging tool. So what about lines? You can see that the chance to increase the amount of lines is much lower with the new reforges than with the Kretnis. Like from 0 you have a 15% chance to hit 3 lines, and with Kretnis you have a chance of 22%, which is a lot lower, but however these are also cheaper and they include the pity system, which should make it cheaper in the end than before. Alright, so as for the reforge rates themselves, this one's easy. All of them have the same rates. Now obviously not the same across all items, since they have each different options. However, all the options on a single item type have the same chance to appear, as you can see here. I have linked the tool where you can look up the rates in the description below. However, it will be in Korean, so you will probably need a translator for that. This applies to both the paid and free version of the new Reforge, and as I already mentioned, the paid version has a chance for the limit break and minimum Reforge levels. For example, if your item is rank 1 and the Reforge you want to roll can reach level 20, then the lowest that you can get is level 7. Now, obviously these minimum values depend on the Reforge itself. Like, as you can see in this screenshot, the Lance Charge cooldown can roll up to 5. Well, 7 with the limit break, so the minimum level is 2. The free precise reforging tools will always have the full range from 1 to 20, or whatever the maximum range is. In addition to balancing out the rates, new options have been added to some equipment types. And honestly, it's a lot of new things, so I won't cover them, but the highlights would be that dual guns, shuriken, and chain blades can get elemental reforges now, while cooking pot and cooking table can get magic attack up to level 20 or 25 with a limit break. So these will be boosting the fusion ball performance a bit slightly higher. Now let's get to the thing that most of you were waiting for. How can you farm these new free reforge tools? To answer that, have a look at this table. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so in the end, reforging tools have been removed from the Festia treasure hunt and the Guardian Guild tournament trophy box. Planete now gives you a precise reforging tool instead of a fine reforging tool, and the dungeon guide support reforges have been thrown out the window. And for the repeated clear rewards, these have been all replaced with the precise reforging tool. You can also purchase the new reforges from the Dungeon Voucher Shop, the Commerce Shop, the Magmel Shop, the Royal Society Sponsorship Shop, and the Adventurer Seal Shop. These have a weekly limit which reset at 7 AM server time every Thursday. As for the prices, you can read those yourself and decide which ones are worth it for you. In total, if you farm every single one of them, you could get up to 22 reforges per week, though some of them are more difficult to obtain, so you may want to reduce that a bit. Well, and so practically that wraps it up. If Nexon were to implement the new reforges in North America as they have done it in Korea, then it opens up a lot more options for the free-to-play population to get their hands on reforges and upgrade their gear. It also makes it less painful to reforge even if you buy the cash shop reforges due to the pity system. However, reforges will stay somewhat paywalled, since you cannot increase the line count with the free variant. You'd still be relying on the cash shop reforges and their pity system to get the maximum amount of reforges, which isn't inherently bad since profits still need to come from somewhere. And also Granny's reforges have been given out in events before, so you could expect these new sophisticated reforges to come from events from time to time. All in all, this is likely a positive change since it reduces a lot of the RNG involved in reforging. And to end this video, I would like to thank everyone for watching and see you again next time. Yeah. Bye!